your host, Mark Scott. And today we have a legendary group that we're going to be talking about. And it's based in Detroit, heartfelt soul from way back. But now they're resurging and re-emerging, and they're coming back with new music that's going to tantalize your taste buds. You're going to love this. This is going to be great, you guys. It's going to be great. We have Mr. Dwayne Lomax, a friend of mine that we've been friends forever.
Yes, sir.
And I just want you to know that it's a pleasure to have you here with us
Thank you.
today and enjoy this show. We have Mr. Lomax, and we're going to talk about some really great things. How you doing, Dwayne?
I'm doing great. How you
What's
doing,
happening,
Mark?
man?
It is so good to be here on the show with you, and to be with a person that has the class that you have.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
What we try to do here, Dwayne, is uh, use our platform to expose things that the community might not be aware of,
Mhm.
and if they are, they don't get enough of it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Absolutely.
So what we're going to try to do is with this for 2024. You
Yes.
know,
Yes, sir.
we're going to expose a lot of things. You and I work together on some things
Absolutely.
already, and
Absolutely.
we've got some really good balls rolling. Yes, we do.
Yes, sir. Yes,
But what I
sir.
want you to do, we're going to start out. Tell the people, tell the audience exactly who you are and how you came to where you are now.
Okay. My real name is Dwayne Lomax. My stage name is Locke. Uh, I started playing drums when I was about 9 years old, and got plenty of whoopings for beating on my mother's couch and tearing the cottons out of it, trying to learn how to play drums. But I mean, during an early age, I joined up with this group that a lot of you might remember them, called Mad Dog and the Pup.
Oh
Talking about
yeah.
hip squeeze
Oh
one time.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember that. You was
Yes,
part of
sir.
that.
Yes, sir. I was
All
part.
right.
I
All
was part of
right.
that group,
All right.
and
Mad Dog and the
yes,
Pups.
sir. Yes, sir. After leaving them, moving on, I did a couple of dates with David Ruffin. I did a couple of dates with the group, the 21st Century. I don't know if you remember
I
them.
do.
Yeah,
I was
played.
a
Did some.
kid.
Yeah, yeah. Did some dates with them, and then I kept going on, and I ended up actually being the drummer for the Detroit Emeralds on several dates, believe it or not.
Okay.
Okay, and after the group actually went to Europe and I didn't go with them, I ended up hooking up with this group called Chairman of the Board.
I remember them too.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
and went to Europe with them, and man, I had a ball over there. And in the process of coming back home and coming back to reality, because when you go over there, it's a whole nother
Oh yeah.
it's a whole nother program,
Oh yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but I
They
can.
honor you. They honor
There you
our
go.
music, and
They
you know.
love our music over
Oh
there.
yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately, over here, it is what it is. I don't want to speak about it, but it is what it is,
Hmm.
you know. So, I mean, after that happened, I ended up with the group Enchantment for a while.
Oh, EJ.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And I ended up leaving Enchantment, going out with the Dales, and did several dates
Man, this
with them.
man's history is. I'm fascinated myself. I know you guys are too.
Yeah. And then after the Dales, I ended up hooking up uh, with our partner or our friend, Mr. Don Davis.
Oh yeah. Damn.
And I ended up doing,
United Sound.
yes, yes, sir.
Mhm.
I ended up doing the Albert King's last album, man, which is such a gold mine, man. When you really think about Albert King and how great he was and how he played and everything,
Mhm.
and also working with a blues harmonica player by the name of Little Sonny,
No. Yeah.
great friend of mine. I mean, he's been like a father to me. He kind of guided me through some things, and he was the one that introduced me to Don Davis.
Okay.
Okay, so after that, I ended up doing some other things and floating around here, floating around there. I had my own band called Ever Life for a while, and then
What you
find
call what?
Everlife.
Everlife.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then finally, the group kind of like disbanded. And as it was disbanding, Ryan Banks called me and asked me to play for the Dramatics. And I was like, no, I don't want to play for the Dramatics. I want to get my band back together and make that happen. And finally, after a couple of days of, talking with Ryan Banks, Tony Green, and the gentleman who was the musical director at the time, Booker, I finally ended up saying, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'll come with you guys. And I did ample amount of years with them. I mean, I was with the Dramatics for like 28 years, and during my last, I guess you could say my last 14 years, I was drummer, musical director, and tour manager, all rolled up in one for L.J. Reynolds Dramatics. Okay,
Okay.
so those are some of the things I did, and then when I left the Dramatics, that's when I got the offer for the Detroit Emerald.
Oh yeah. Now
And
let me ask you a question.
yes, sir.
When you were down at United, when you first met Don,
Hmm.
when was that? What year was it?
That had to be in the late 80s.
Late 80s. Late 80s.
Yeah, late 80s.
Okay.
Yeah, because I played on Bobby Womack's album. I played on Michael Henderson album. I played on Johnny Taylor's album. I did some things with on the Dramatics down there. There was a couple other artists I played for down there as well. So
Oh, okay.
I worked with a lot of artists down there, man. I really enjoyed my time down there, being there with Don.
Dave Robinson.
Yeah, yep.
One
Uh,
way.
yep. That's right. Learning the business,
Mhm.
and it showed me a lot. When I got in there, I thought I knew the business,
Oh,
but you don't really know the business till you get into the
into
business.
the business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. That's the way it was with me. That's the way
yep.
it was with me. I learned so much from being able to work with and like a third party type thing
Mhm,
with like I would go down and Don would give me a track
mhm.
and the person singing on it I didn't know who that person was, and he would say that's you said that do you know about enchantment? I said yeah, and it would be EJ
Mhm,
laying down the demo
mhm.
for some songs that he wanted me to
Yeah,
try to do.
yeah,
So I learned that. But yeah, man, that's amazing. You said late '80s, right?
yep.
I
Late
said,
'80s.
okay. So
Yeah,
I was gone at '86. Were you down there during that time? '86.
I might have just been coming in during that time. Uh,
You work with Johnny Burton?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and then once I left the Dramatics and joined up with Detroit Emerald, it was James Mitchell Jr.
Okay.
who called me and asked me if I wanted to be with the Detroit Emeralds, and I had been the drummer and musical director and the tour manager for so long. My thought was when he first asked me, "Okay, you want me to be the drummer, the MD and the tour manager?" So he says, "No." He said, "I want you up front singing." So
Whoa.
yeah,
That's a new ball game.
yeah. And then he
Okay.
said, and then we can work this production thing out and make it do what it do. I was like, okay. And from there, it's been great. Um, Working with Al Livingston and the gentleman who's also a part of the Detroit Emerald. His name is Oric Ewing, and he lives in Lansing, Michigan. And man, he's such a phenomenal bass player, unreal.
Okay.
Singing lead with the Detroit
Is
Emeralds.
that right?
Yes, yes,
Oh man.
yeah,
So it doesn't surprise me that a lot of the musicians also
yeah,
have an ear
yeah.
and can sing.
Well, I think the biggest thing is we sit around and we watch, you know, what the singers were doing, and we decided, a while back, well, I'm gonna start singing and I'm gonna come out front, and then when you get the opportunity to come out front and do what you do, now you say, okay, now I understand. I'm gonna tell you something. I got a newfound respect for singers now. I used to say all y'all did was singing routines. It is a whole nother ball
It
game.
is. It is.
Yeah.
It is. It is. But now, moving forward a little bit, uh, who does the routines for your group?
James Mitchell does it, but also a gentleman by the name of Bobby Green that used to be with Enchantment.
Stop.
That's right.
Okay, and he
Yeah.
does the routines.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does the routine that, if James Mitchell, first of all, James Mitchell will give it to him and allow him to do it. And then if we, well, that's okay, but let's make it better here,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
But Bobby has done such a great job, with us. And he whipped the chain on us, man.
Okay.
I tell you, man, when I get through, I'll be like, oh, my back hurts.
Well, to lead that sort of thing is it's not a friendly job.
No, it's not. It's
Um,
not.
but it has to be done. It has
Well,
to be done
and I tell
if you
you,
want to,
yeah,
elevate the group.
exactly. And I tell you this much too. Coming off of the drums and coming up front,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I had 16 left legs.
Mm.
I'm stumbling over everything. And James Mitchell and Bobby Green both, they just whipping me, whipping me down. I'm like, no, that ain't right. Come on, get this. You can get it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And it's such a blessing to know that I got people that's in my corner that's going to push me and tell me that they know that I can do this.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
Because everybody won't do it. They'll just, let you fall by the wayside. And then once you get to fall by the wayside, they go get to their friend. Yeah, man, he ain't no good. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the nature of the business.
That is.
That's the way it comes. And it should, I know for you, it probably pushes you to do better,
Yeah.
you know.
I had to learn, after playing drums all these years, if you give me a song, I know how to take the song and make it me with the way God blessed me to make it me.
There you go.
Okay?
All right now.
Now, as a singer, I had to learn how to make a song me. I can't sing Mark Scott's song like Mark Scott sang his song. I have to take it and make it me
Make
in
it
order
yours.
for it to be, yeah, in order for it to be comfortable.
Right. Don used to say, own it,
There you go.
own it.
Yeah.
And your boy Ryan.
Yeah. Ron, my boy Ron
You know,
Banks.
people will always say, they like to compare people.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Kendricks,
Mhm.
Ryan Banks, who's the best?
Mm-hmm.
They're different.
There you go.
Ryan had his own style.
There you go.
Eddie had his own style.
That's right.
Um, Stylistics, Delphonics, William.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was in Baltimore with him, and I got a chance to talk to him up close.
Mm-hmm.
I still got some of his music that he wanted me to do.
Mm-hmm.
But he said the same thing.
Yeah.
You don't try to be anybody else. Even before I did what I did, I was compared to people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm some of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Some of everybody.
Right.
Anybody with a high voice.
Mm-hmm.
But there's people are different.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that. So who you do the lead?
I do some leads, not a whole lot of lead. I'm not a lead singer,
Mm-hmm.
but I do what I do,
Mm-hmm.
and I just try to entertain the best that God gives me.
You got a song called "Distance." You guys just released.
There's no distance that has
There's no
just been released, and that's on MCM Global Team, and man, these guys over here in Ireland has been such a blessing. They've done everything that we asked them to do, and we try to do everything that they asked us to do, and it's been a great marriage ever since.
Island Records.
No. Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about. Yeah, but no, it's the label that we're on is called MCM Global Team.
Okay.
Okay. And
Say that again.
MCM Global Team.
Okay.
Okay. And as well as our manager is out of Ireland as well.
Okay.
And hey, I'm looking for great things to happen with the Detroit Emerald in 2024.
All right now. All right.
You know?
All right. And you go overseas and get respect.
There you go. There you go.
And people
There you
want to
go.
do things with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a wonderful thing, man. Look, we're gonna take a station break. You're watching Off the Cuff. I'm your host, Mark Scott. Live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Like us, follow us, comment, subscribe. And we want to thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV. The call-in number is 313-355-6018. If you got any questions for Dwayne, that's 313-355-6018. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We love you. And for supporting Off the Cuff on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I mean, it's an honor, man. Really, I have had the highest regard for you and your skills, and you know this.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've expressed it to you.
Yeah.
I remember when we did. What's the name of that place down there?
Masonic Temple?
Masonic Temple.
Yeah.
We couldn't
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is that place? During the Super Bowl time. Yeah. Yeah. And,
Yeah.
And you were on the drums.
Yeah.
And you were knocking them drums out. And then I got it on video.
Yeah.
Send it to you. Did you
Yeah,
like that?
yeah, I seen many of that. I was so big back there. I looked back at me. I said, "Oh my God, what was I doing with all that weight?" You know.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I didn't know.
yeah,
I didn't even
Yeah.
notice all that.
yeah.
Okay, all I knew is that this brother is hitting them drums and catching every accent. I mean, even Bobby had something to say about that. You know, Bobby
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, he's a bad boy. He's a bad
I
Bobby Rogers,
yeah,
the original member of the Miracle.
yeah. I so miss him.
Oh, I
You
do
know,
too, so much.
because he was such a unique person, man, and such a kind person. And no matter what he did and how he did it, you always just had to respect what he did because he was a kind person, you know. And when I met him, I felt as though I was meeting royalty, you know, by meeting him. And I was like, wow, you know, I'm like, I'm around royalty, you know, with all you guys. I was around royalty, so it was great, man. It really was.
So you got another release that you're coming out, another song? that you
Yeah,
guys have that you're pushing?
the next song that's going to be out, I just finished that up, just a little while. Had to been maybe about 2 weeks ago. Tune entitled "Build a Bridge."
Building Bridge.
Yeah.
Sounds like a social.
Kinda, you know, but we're talking about bringing black, white, pink, blue, yellow, purple. We're talking
There
about bringing
you
us
go.
all together.
That's what I'm talking
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what we don't have enough of now. We ain't back on there, are we?
We are. We'll never stop.
Jesus.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. But we, you know, it's time for us all to come together, man. We never know when God is going to call that number. And if we don't start realizing now that we need to start respecting one another, not pulling one another down, okay? We need to try to lift each other up. Okay, lift each other. When you lift one person up, that person will reach back and grab that with that hand and pull you out. But the way the situation is set up now, it's designed to keep the poor poor and the rich richer. And I probably shouldn't have said that on air.
But it's life.
Yeah.
It's the nature of things. It doesn't have to be that way. And it's up to us as a people to, and I mean people,
Yeah,
human beings,
yeah,
to step beyond that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Um,
absolutely.
that is not a cool thing to do, but I mean, and I think that's what this show is all about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we did, you know, we do social stuff too.
Right.
You know, I don't want to be. That's the reason why it's called Off the Cuff.
Okay,
Off
and
the
that makes
cuff.
sense.
You see?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Off the cuff.
Hey, that guy that's talking on there, I like him, man. He's all right.
But you know, it's all about the heart, man.
Yeah.
It's all about the heart.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to be performing anytime soon in this area, or is everything going to be overseas?
We're working on some things now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I will say this much, Rick, one of the lead singers, is in the hospital right now. So we kind of like taking time off to let him recoup and get things together.
You can send some
Um,
prayers out for him.
absolutely,
What's his name,
absolutely.
Rick?
Or his real name is Oric Ewing.
Oric Ewing.
Yeah.
Oric
And,
Ewing.
and the weird part about it, it ain't really weird, but he's assistant pastor of a church up there in Lansing, Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's a, whew, wow, you talking about playing bass?
Okay. Spiritual brother.
Yes.
Okay, very much so.
Yes.
Okay, very good, very good.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna be sending out prayers for you, Orin. What's his name again?
Oric Ewing.
Orin Ewing. We got a phone call coming for you, Dwayne. Hello, hello.
Hey, hello. Hi,
Hello,
Steve
how
Jackson
you doing?
here.
How you doing?
How are you? I can hardly hear you.
Who am I speaking to?
This is Steve Jackson.
Steve Jackson. Okay. Mr.
Yeah, how you
Steve
doing?
Jackson. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You got a question or something to say to Dwayne Lomax?
Yeah. Locke. Yeah, I calling in to speak with Locke. I was going to call back for Van Allen as well, but Locke, I played with him with the
We're gonna have
Dramatics.
Van Allen in here in about 5 minutes, Steve.
Okay.
Yeah, but you got a question for Steve is a musician extraordinaire.
Okay.
Everybody, he writes, produces. He's my musical director, and
Okay.
he's an outstanding human being as well.
Keyboard player?
Keyboards.
I
Yeah.
know him.
Yeah, you know Steve.
Yeah, I know Steve. Wow.
Steve, you know Dwayne.
Hey. I'm sorry.
I said, do you know Dwayne?
Yeah. I played with L.J. Reynolds Dramatics with
That's
him.
right.
Oh,
That's
oh,
right.
okay.
That's right.
All right.
That's
All
right.
All right. You got a question? Something you want to know, Mr. Jackson?
Yeah. Dwayne.
Yes.
Van Allen as well. Locke, I played with him with the Dramatics.
So,
Hey, Locke.
Yes. That's me.
Yeah. He held back. I didn't know he sang. He played drums, and
That's right.
Locke plays drums, and I didn't know that he sang. So he was holding back on me all this time. I want to speak with him about
I'm trying to do the
that.
best I can, sir.
hey, Steve, turn your radio down.
Yes, yes. I got a bad connection, maybe.
Yeah, turn your radio down. You looping.
Okay.
All right, now we can hear you better.
Okay.
How you been?
Yeah. We went to Virginia. All right. How about yourself?
I've been great, man. Been blessed and highly favored, man.
That's a beautiful thing. Yeah, man. I heard you sing with the Detroit Emeralds. I'm like, Locke singing, not on drums. So I'm like, man, next time I get a chance to speak to him. So I caught you live on Off the Cuff with Mark Scott.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. As I tell people all the time, the Lord blessed me with being able to sing a little bit. So I'm trying to expand on that singing a little bit.
Yeah, I'm turning it down now. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it down. Okay. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was saying that the Lord blessed me with being able to, to sing a little bit. So I'm, just trying to make it do what it do, spread love across the world, and and keep it moving.
Yeah, I was watching some footage with Locke, Mark, and Man his drums, and I was speaking to Baby Ray, and he was saying how Locke's snare, man. He said, man, Locke got that snare sounding off. And Locke's an excellent drummer. But I just want to call in and holler at you and say, hey, and
Thank
you
you.
surprised me when they told me you were singing. So I guess I'm gonna try to sing next.
Yeah, when you see Baby Ray, give him my love. Tell him I said hello. That's my buddy there.
I certainly will. So, okay, I'm going to get on and let you guys continue the march, but I
All
just
right.
want to call in and say hey.
Thank you,
Thank
Steve.
you.
We're gonna have Van in here in about 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
All
Talk to
right.
you
God
later.
bless.
Bye now. Take care, Lyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he played. Steve played with you
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
Dramatics. I didn't know that.
I called him one day. The keyboard player was unable to make a date, and I called Steve and I rehearsed with him, and I had a great time with him, man. Such a great guy, such a funny guy,
Yeah.
such a serious guy,
Yeah.
and he takes his music very very serious,
Yeah.
and that's what I appreciate about him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and hey, it was all great, man. It was all great.
So who does your travel plans, your bookings and things of that nature?
Actually, our manager takes care of that, and he has a
What's his name?
well, his name is Kenny.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
and while we're talking about Kenny, we like to say hello to our brother too, Jerome Remsen. I call him Jr. He's such a great bass player, and he's a producer there. He's actually the vice president of the label.
Okay.
As well, so
Okay.
he's doing excellent over there in Ireland as well too. So
Okay.
all
great,
good.
Great.
Yes.
Great. I could give him some kudos.
Yeah.
Give him some shout outs.
Yeah.
Let them know we love them.
Yes.
And we appreciate what they're doing.
Yes.
You know what? You are multi-talented, not just the singing and you have a business head on you too.
I try. Thank you.
Okay. So
Yeah.
so how did you come about that? I mean, how did you? Is that through the Dramatics? Or
I
did
think
you-
I think I had a business head about me a while ago. I just didn't know how to make it work. And then when I first came into Dramatics, I came into Dramatics just as a drummer.
Mhm.
Okay, and then what happened was they put me as the musical director, which I didn't want to be musical director. I thought somebody else who's been there longer than me should have been the musical director, but because of the fact that they saw some type of business in me, that's why they kind of made me MD. And then later on, after the tour manager went his way, they allowed me to become the tour manager, and that helped me to line some more things up, and put some more things, as they call it, ducks in the row.
Sure.
Okay, and it just started, the business thing just started coming out, flowing every which way, so now my head, now I have to take off one hat to put another hat on, because you can't talk the same business with the same hats.
Right. So now let me ask you this:
Yes.
Is there a website, a Facebook page that you want to let the people know?
Yeah.
Where they can come
There-
and listen to your music, or
There's the Instagram page. It's called Detroit lowercase in Emerald lowercase in official page on Instagram.
okay.
Okay.
So it's
There-
Detroit Emerald's official page
Correct.
on
Okay.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, they can go to Facebook. It's called the Detroit Emeralds Facebook page,
Okay.
and they can go to YouTube, listen to the latest single, which is "Christmas Fun," which is the Christmas song.
Oh, okay. We
Okay.
didn't talk about that one.
Oh, I
How
did?
did it do? How did it do?
It's
Did
done
you-
real good.
did they
I thought
play?
I didn't send it to you.
I don't think so.
Oh Jesus,
I don't
I'm
think
sorry.
So I know I got two
Yeah.
that I know of.
Okay, I'll make sure. I know Christmas is winding down. It's not a lot of Christmas songs, but if you're still running the radio show next year, you have opportunity to play
Well, I
it.
hope to be still around.
I hope so too. I hope that you call me.
If they love what we're doing, yeah, I think they'll have us. They'll have us back.
Yeah, which is good. But before There's No Distance, there was a tune entitled "In My Life," and that's a song that really touched me dearly, because during that time that I wasn't the only writer on that song. James Mitchell Jr., L.J. Reynolds' cousin, helped write the lyrics to that song. Me.
Name of it again?
It's entitled in my life.
Okay, you guys go and see if
Yeah.
you can find that on YouTube and
Yeah.
what, Spotify and
Yep.
all of them as well,
Yeah.
right? All digital platforms.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
And
great.
that song there, that's during the time where my mother had passed away,
Mm.
and my oldest brother had passed away, and then my daughter had passed away, and it kind of put me in a down spiral, not really knowing what was going on with life, and that's how all of us actually, when the Donald Albert was the LJ's cousin, who helped wrote that song, and I sat down with him and gave him what I thought that it should be, and he came back and gave me what he thought so what it should be, and we ended up merging some stuff together, and it became what it
A
is
song.
to
Okay.
today. So that song really touches my heart,
Okay.
because of the things that were going on at that particular time.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of songs come from personal experience. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Absolutely.
But Dwayne, thank you, man.
Thank you, man.
Thank you
I
for-
truly
for coming
appreciate you,
through
man. And the Detroit Emeralds and Mark Scott Miracle need to do some shows together.
Okay. Well,
So let's-
It'll be me. It'll
Okay.
be Detroit Emeralds and Mark Scott.
Okay.
We'll do it that way.
Okay.
And we'll probably throw some stuff in. But hey, man, it's absolutely a pleasure having
Thank you. It's been a blessing, man.
Thank you for coming through. I kind of juggled some things around.
Yeah.
But stumbled a little bit, but we got it done, didn't we?
Appreciate you, man.
Okay.
Really do from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, guys. And thank you guys for supporting the Detroit Emeralds all these years.
Okay. And so with that, we're going to have our next guest, which is Van Allen. But right now you're watching Off the Cuff, live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. So like us, follow us, share the program with your friends, get the word out, and send a comment. We want to hear from you. You can go to WJZZ Radio, DetroitRadio.com, or you can go to TJENT.com and listen to the broadcast, rebroadcast, and we do it on YouTube as well. So, and then subscribe. Definitely subscribe so you can get these information, these artists, all the time. So thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. So we're gonna get Van Allen in here now, and let my man Locke go. Man,
Thank you.
again, man, I just want to tell you, it's
All
it's a
right.
pleasure, man. Thank
It
you
really
so
is,
much.
man. Thank you,
know what I'm
man.
saying?
God bless you,
for
man.
doing this. I
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
it.
Yeah, man. It's the gas, man.
Yeah.
And we had fun.
Yeah, we got it done. We got it
Yeah.
done. We got.
Hey, do me a favor. I got time to take a selfie with you.
No, we're gonna do that later.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I may not be here later.
Oh, okay. Well,
Don't worry about it. We get it together later.
oh, give me a minute.
Okay.
Give me a minute. We got Mr. Van Allen coming in.
All right.
This brother is awesome. I called in during Stephen Jackson's interview. He just called. He's gonna call.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
get you again.
Okay,
He's
all right.
gonna come to turn his radio down.
all righty.
So he can.
Yeah, turn the radio down, Steve.
Yeah. But we got Mr. Van Allen, musician, songwriter, entrepreneur extraordinaire. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here, man.
Oh, pleasure
Thank you
to be
much.
here.
Appreciate it.
Man,
Appreciate
thanks for
you
so
coming
much
through.
having me. And I got to start out by saying, I'm a fan of yours, man. Legendary group, The Miracles.
Ah.
You've been doing it with them. I grew up on those guys,
Yeah.
man. So,
I was fortunate to perform with you.
yeah, great pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So you work with Stephen Jackson. You guys got some material that you worked on. You were also an entrepreneur, and I noticed that you, in your bio, that you are involved in some national entrepreneurs.
Yeah, the National Entrepreneur Association, absolutely. Yeah, I'm one of the board members for that organization.
Okay. Well, before we get to that, let people know who you are, how you got to be Van Allen, extraordinaire.
I like how you say that.
I like that.
Yeah, so, man, my musical journey starts way back. You know, back when I was in elementary school. Actually, I picked up a saxophone. Discovered I had a love for music. One of my cousins, we were pretty close. He got me involved in a band in the neighborhood, and we used to go around and play gigs for money. And my career kind of just took off from there. Fortunately, I had a cousin who worked at Motown. So I was always around music as a kid. So it was just a natural transition that when I got older, I continued to dabble in music. I continued to grow from there. I got involved in video production after I discovered that I loved communication, anything to do with communication, whether it was in front of the camera, behind the camera. So I went on, I did something that's still around, the Motor City Ballroom Dance Competition.
Okay.
Yeah, I did a couple
That
of...
was here in Detroit?
Yeah, took
Okay.
place at the Masonic Temple.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, it was a sold-out event. In fact, we did it twice. The other time was at the International Marketplace downtown Detroit. Both were a sellout.
Okay.
And you can still check those out. They're classics, and I think we did it around the turn of the millennium, around
It was
1999. Yeah, it was
Okay,
filmed. You can
tell
s-
them where they can find it.
You can check it out. Go to motorcityballroom.com and click on video, and you can check out that whole video. And I'm telling you, Mark, this is some of the best dancing that we have in the city. These dancers were everybody from instructors, students. And one of the reasons we did that is because years ago I got involved in ballroom dancing and discovered that nobody was really showcasing or putting this on video for people to see.
Yeah.
And being I had a show at that time called On the Positive Side, I was highlighting things that people were doing in the community that was positive. And I thought, oh man, I got to put this on camera,
For sure.
and end up becoming a great success. So, so I've just been around music, entertainment, video production for a lot of years and just
Now-
continue to do it.
Now tell me about the video production part of it. You have a company.
Yeah, Van Allen Productions.
Okay.
Yeah, that started because years ago I got involved in production at Comcast.
Okay.
And it just continued to grow from there. And I would go out and I would, like I said, showcase people in the community that were doing positive things. And I always had, something inside of me that I wanted to showcase people that were doing positive things in the community and helping to, to take their skills to the next level, basically. So I've been doing video production for over 20 years, all while working. I worked at Ford Motor Company as an electrician
Okay.
for years. And it's funny because when people would see me out doing my video production, they thought that's all I did. That was
Right.
what I did for a living.
Yeah.
But I actually had two jobs. I would work video production in the evening, and then I would run home, put my equipment down, jump in bed, get right up and go to work out at Ford the next day as an electrician. So I've always kind of, been
But
industrious.
those two things kind of go together, though, don't they? The electrician side of it, and then the actual production of video.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Because when you do lighting and things of that,
Right.
there's a language.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a lot of correlation there. It's a lot of correlation between the two because, and it's funny coming up as a kid, I didn't really think I was technical or, I didn't even think I would be an electrician. That's something my dad wanted to be an electrician, and I kind of followed in his footsteps like, but once I got into it, I loved it. And like you said, in doing video production, the main thing is, Mark, is the creativity.
Yeah.
And I've always been a creative person. I'm a left-handed person,
Oh.
and
Give it up.
you left-handed
Oh,
too.
no doubt. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
see
yes,
there,
sir.
left-handed
Got a left-handed
geniuses.
strat sitting in my studio. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also coming up as a kid, I was an introvert, so I would always be internal, and I would create these movies in my mind.
Yeah.
And I would always visualize things. So when I get into video production, I found that I could take those movies out of my mind and put them up on the screen. And so I felt I was pretty good at it because I had that great imagination and being left-handed, of course.
I think there's some of the most talented people out there.
Yeah.
So your production company, you do audio,
Audio and video production,
Okay.
yeah.
And then you're a musician as well, so all those things go together.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
The creative side with the writing.
Right. Now, earlier you mentioned Steve Jackson. Ironically, I met Steve while I was working out at Ford's. We would, talk all the time at work, and I discovered that he was a musician,
Yeah.
and he discovered I was a musician. So we had a kind of deeper understanding of music. So we started working together, managing and producing local artists way back many years ago. And that was it was a work of love, though, but it can be very challenging working artists. So, I kind of,
Well, we all do it. We
yeah,
all do, we all do
yeah.
it.
I tried to retire a few times, but Steve would always come and pull me back in. And we got a great project we're working on now. I got to tell you about it a little later.
Yeah, well, you can tell me about it now.
Okay,
I
great.
want to hear about that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're working with a young lady, a 14-year-old protege. I like to call her protege. Very talented, what they call a triple threat.
Okay.
People throw that term around quite a bit, but to me, a triple threat is someone who can sing, dance, act. She has her own podcast, and I was actually introduced to her by Steve. He called me up one day and said, "Man, I got this young lady, that I think would be great to work with." I said, "Oh, great. How old is she?" She said, 14. I said, "I don't know. It can be kind of challenging
of course.
working with kids and
Minors.
that minors, they get distracted or what have you." But after I got an opportunity to listen to her and actually check her out, I discovered that, a lot of great talent there. She does like a Sade, what do you call it, Sade impersonation. Actually seen her do it down at the music hall,
Okay.
and she wooed the audience.
Okay.
And that's something that comes natural. People have natural inner strengths and abilities, and to be able to tap into it at a young age like that is, really very powerful.
And her
So
name again is?
her name is Charity Alexis.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Steve mentioned her.
Yeah, in fact,
During his interview.
wanted to, make a quick announcement surrounding
Mhm.
that for your viewers. We're actually going to be holding open auditions and tryouts to dance with Charity. We're working on an upcoming video that's going to be released nationwide coming up probably sometime in March. But we're looking for dancers. Now, you don't have to be a professional or trained dancer, but you got to be good from 14 to 17. And you need to get parental consent or guardian. And if you're interested, I can leave you an email address.
Go ahead, tell them what it is.
Okay, if you're interested, you can hit us up at AEJ Music. That's A as in Apple, E as in Eric, J as in James, Music, the number 1 at gmail.com. Hit us up, and when we start up our tryouts, we'll definitely get back with you. I'll let you know where it's going to be. It'll be somewhere in the Detroit area. And we want you to come out. If we get 20 people, 100 people, we'll give, each of you an opportunity if you, meet the proper qualifications to get involved. So, I'm really looking forward to that, Mark. I'm really
And
excited.
we're going to get together and post that
Yeah,
on
Absolutely.
on the internet and make sure people get that information.
Absolutely.
So it's AEJ
AEJ Music,
Music,
the number
the
1
number 1
at
gmail.com.
gmail.com. Yes.
AEJ Music and the number 1 at gmail.com.
That's it.
You guys got that, okay? You can play this back again when you go to tjent.com, and it's going to be on my page. And I know that Van, we talked about this.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and so we're gonna do that. We're gonna let you know. So you go to that website that we just did, AEJ Music, the number 1 at gmail.com, or you can go to tjent.com and go to the off the cuff page, and all this information will be there for you. Absolutely, man.
Okay.
That's Fantastic, man. That's fantastic.
Right.
But we talked about that.
Yeah,
Let
absolutely.
me do a station break right quick, and then we're gonna come back and,
Okay.
and talk about some other things.
Okay.
So you're watching Off the Cuff, live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and other top social media platforms. So like us, share with us, send a comment, let us know what you feel, what you think, anything you think we can do to address some issues that you might be interested in. Subscribe, and I'm your host, Mark Scott, and it's a pleasure having you watch this show. We got Mr. Van Allen, extraordinaire. I mean, this man is doing some things in your community that a lot of you need to know about. So thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. Okay, so we talked about the protege. We talked about your company.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the entrepreneurs. You're on the board.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
Absolutely, absolutely. And one of the things that, we talked about, a little bit earlier is the correlation between entrepreneurship and music, which I wanted to kind of highlight on to kind of, help to foster the mindset of a lot of musicians. But yeah, I'm on a board of the National Entrepreneur Association. What we basically do is work with entrepreneurs from all over the country. And we have a certification program that's actually 9 weeks where it's intense. It's online on Zoom, and we train individuals in various aspects of entrepreneurship, everything from finance to marketing to networking, intellectual property, you name it. And Mark, we've been around, I think, just over 2 years. We started out doing it once every 9 weeks or once a year. Then we went to twice a year. It was so successful. Now we're doing it 3 times a year, and we've certified close to 200 entrepreneurs from around the country.
Okay.
And it's just a very powerful program. It gets rave reviews. But one of the things I wanted to mention is that musicians, you being a musician, artist, and singer, myself being a musician, as musicians, we're actually entrepreneurs. Because when you're a musician, just like an entrepreneur, it's all about your brand. When you own a business, it's about your brand. When you work for a company and you answer to the company, it's about their brand. And I worked for Ford Motor Company, it was about their brand. But Van Allen Productions is about my brand. Because even if I work for you as Van Allen Productions as an independent contractor, when I leave, I take my brand with me.
Of course.
Same way with a record company. When you're your brand, Mark Scott, when you leave, whatever record company you're at, you take your brand with you. So, I like to share that with entrepreneurs. With a musician and artist, to start looking at yourself as an entrepreneur and move like an entrepreneur, and it can, impact the success that you can create for yourself. And, that's why I call myself a musical entrepreneur. Say, I don't hear that too often. What is that? It was just what I said. I'm my own brand, regardless of who I work for, who I'm signed to. Because at the end of the day, if you don't get it, nobody else will. Nobody's knocking on the door and say, hey, I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's time to go to work. But when I worked at Ford, I had to be there. If I wasn't there with 6:30 in the morning, I'd get docked. I'd lose money. Nobody's going to wake you up when you're an entrepreneur. You got to get it.
So this is your time.
Right.
What I want the audience, what I want them to know is 2 things. Your production company, website, page, whatever. Tell them how to get in touch with your company.
Okay. Yeah, you can get in touch with me at Van Allen Productions. You can visit my Facebook page. Is simply Van Allen. Now, it might be a couple other Van Allens out there, so when you pull it up, make sure you see me. Also, you can learn more about Charity Alexis by going to her YouTube channel, which is Charity Alexis Official.
Okay.
And you can learn a little bit about her because, before you sign up to dance. Go and, look and take a look and see what she's about. Also, to find out more about me and the National Entrepreneur Association, go to nationalentrepreneurs.org, and you could find out about everything from the boot camp and how to become a member and take your business to the next level. So, that's pretty much.
So we got Van Allen Productions.com.
Yep. For my production company, you want to go to the MotorCityBallroom.com.
Okay.
And it'll give you a direct link to me. And
Okay.
you also can see some of the videos and some of the work we do.
Okay.
Okay. And then nationalentrepreneurs.org.
Okay. All right. And Charity
And
Alexis
Charity Alexis Official on YouTube.
on YouTube.
Right.
All right. So now I think we got all that information. We're running out of time. I'm going to have Van back. I got some thoughts with how we can collaborate together in the future.
Absolutely.
For sure. But you're watching Off the Cuff. I'm your host, Mark Scott. That pretty much does it for us today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing. And follow us, like us on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and